Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the fourth and final semi-final on day 4 at the UCT Hockey Astro, known by some of the older guard as the Hares Astro. We've just had Tucky's women beating Northwest Puka women to set up a Marty's Tucks final tomorrow for the ladies, and the fourth and final semi-final, we've got Wits men in their yellow strip playing against Marty's men in their traditional maroon kits. If Marty's pull off the win now, we will have a Marty's Tuckies men's final and a Marty's Tuckies women's final. So that is certainly a little bit of a behind-the-scenes plot at the moment. But Wits will be looking to ruin that show. This Wits program and Wits team is always at the top of their game. Ussa champions in 2019, and they'll certainly be looking to keep the title at home base in Johannesburg. Coach Ricky West been in charge now for 6 years and running a fantastic program. Marty's program, a lot of change over the last couple of years, but really starting to see the fruits of their labor, and both sides are littered with national junior stars, which we'll allude to a little bit later. We met head coach of the S-Under-21 men's program, the newly appointed Guy Elliott, who was glowing praise about all 4 semi-finalists. And stay in touch. We will certainly bring you more and more information as the game progresses. So hold tight, and we look forward to bringing you some spectacular action in just under a minute's time. Ladies and gentlemen, joining me touch side, I've got myself the one, the only, Randall Crisp. Crispy, you've watched both of these teams. I got to see the magic of the Wits UJ Stroke Fest yesterday or the day before. And straight away we get into action. Wits playing from right to left in their yellow kits. Marty's in their traditional maroon, playing from left to right. What do you give me as usual, Crispy? Who wins this game?
Well, it's going to be a incredibly tight affair, as both these sides will be out for blood. This Marty side has quite a few super powerful players in their squad. They've got names like Clayton Seiko, who was one of the chief speakers last week at the Under-18 IPT opening. They've also have a few very strong juniors. You'll notice number 19, Ola Karelse, known as X, Viewembate, known as Vich. And also have a few slightly older players like your Cody Skumans, Jacques van Tonders, Peter Jarvis, the captain, Tevin Peterson. And one of our favorites, Runeel Terblanche, with his characteristic afro. In this Wits side, we have Liam Hermanus, who scored at the men's indoor IPT earlier this year, scored 6 goals in 1 match. So watch out for that number 5. Also Randebosch Oldboy, I believe.
I think you might have got that one wrong. You'd be crucified if they heard that. It's a Wyoming goal boy there. But early shot from Peter Jarvis. You would have banked your house on it. Peter Jarvis on the backhand is a real worry. And Marty's there seemingly moving at will. Fantonda driving through the line, changing the channel, and getting a right-hand side entry with Jarvis, the end profiteer, but nothing coming from it. Ethan Matkovic just unfortunately placing it just in front of Michael Horan. This Wits side, I must say, the most intriguing and brilliant thing to watch out of them in the first couple of days was just the calmness, the presence of mind in all of their actions. Nothing seems to fuss them when things are going difficult. They still seem to have some rap of what's going on, but when they're hot, they are hot. The Smarties team, conversely, the other day were just, I can't even say red hot, they were maroon hot. They put Varsity College to the sword with, I think it was 5 goals in 1 quarter, and Marty's at their finest is a tricky proposition, a real brilliant setup. And early on, it looks like Wits going toe-to-toe, just marking all of the players man for man and keeping Michael Newland now as the free man. There's Clayton Saker we spoke about early, but Matkovic really calm, cool, ex-Westville man. Don't mistake him for his short stature, he knows what he's doing. And ladies and gentlemen, joining me touch side is the one, the only, Sishle Ntuli. Just a moment though, let us just watch this penalty corner. I'm sure Sishle Ntuli, the Tuks coach, is going to watch it just as closely because this could be this could be final opposition tomorrow. And then I'll get into the little feedback session with Coach Ntuli. But Marty's with the penalty corner, Renilta Blanche hunched over this ball. Sake on Castle 2, Fantonda on Castle 1. Bet your house it's going to Fantonda. Fantonda it does, but Reese Govender, the youngster, in goals, absolutely well positioned and bats it clear. Marty's certainly making all the early running. Boucher finding Roth back in action. But joining me touchline side, I have the one, the only, Sishle Ntuli, coach of Tuks, assistant coach of the national men's program. You'd be well pleased with that 8-5 end-to-end open game, but another place in the final of Ussa. Congratulations, and what's your feedback on the semi-final?
Yeah, thanks for the introduction, Brinsley. I said to the opposition coach earlier, Old Kassa, that I think the only 2 people who did not enjoy that game were him and myself. I think 13 goals in a semi-final is good for the spectators, but definitely not the guys in the dugout. So happy with the win, but we're going to have to look at a couple of things this evening.
Certainly, but I know there's a man who enjoys analysis yourself. What would you, so impressive to watch your Tucky side. They really seem to know everything that is going to happen 5 moves ahead. The team seems to have such a togetherness. Morgan flicks harder than Gonzalo Payas at the moment. What would be, do you have anything in store for us tomorrow that we haven't seen this Tuckies team do? I don't think you need to change anything, but is there anything in store that is there that's coming out late?
Brinsley, you're asking me some tricky questions here, but it's a simple answer, to be honest with you. No secrets. It's for us, we just try to do what we do really well every game. And our position, knowing what we're about, is not a concern for us. It's just the challenge is for us to turn up and execute our patterns really well every game and make a good game of it.
Obviously, personnel, it's easy to say, what a team, what a structure, what a process, what a style. But in this tournament, it's been clear to see 1 or 2 of your senior nationals really leading the limelight in terms of standards. Sherwood, I was saying earlier, looks more like a flanker than he does a hockey player. But in terms of the non-senior nationals outside of Delora, Morgan, and Sherwood, any guys this week really put their hand up for you and your Tuckies team where you could say you've maybe elevated yourself to the next level?
Thanks for that question, because I think it's actually really important that we point out our non-national players, and that's was always a challenge for us as a team coming into a tournament like this, which you've been together for 6 months leading up to this week, and once again the challenge was to peak at this week, and all we ask for the rest of the squad is for everyone to contribute, and to see some of our youngsters, first, second years, stepping up and adding value onto the field is probably been the most impressive thing. The older guys who are doing what they do, it's nothing new to us. It's no surprise. But to see the youngsters, Calvin Davis, Caleb Aries, Ayakam Talani, I could go on because I feel like the whole squad has contributed. So, yeah, to answer your question, I think we're in a good space and really happy with what we have coming through over the next couple of years.
I was saying earlier, I'm sure you were watching under 18 IPT last week because you just enjoy hockey quite a lot. So, no, on a serious note, well done for the fantastic performances year in, year out, game in, game out, and whichever team wins here at the moment, obviously a great start by Marty's, but whichever team is in for you tomorrow should be quite a spectacle, and best of luck with that game, and I hope to see you post-game for a chat, maybe with a smile on your face.
Appreciate that, Brinsley, and yeah, you're absolutely right. Two quality teams on the pitch, and whoever we do get for tomorrow, let's just hope we can put on a good spectacle for everyone back home. We've been starved of hockey over the last 2 years, so looking forward to a good one tomorrow in the Four Seasons city of Cape Town. And yeah, thanks for the chat, but
Keep well. Cheers, man.
awesome. Thanks, buddy.
And Marty's still making some good inroads here as I'm joined back by Randall Crisp. But end-to-end game as the light dims here in Cape Town. The turf is well watered from the previous game, and we are in with some massive action and fire. Wits starting to get into their pattern, but great interception, great tackle there by Josh de Klerk, the first year out of Paul Roos on his adversary, Cameron Fullerton, another youngster in the Wits team out of St. John's, I believe. So there's interesting battles all over the park. Marty's generally quite a zonal-based team, but once or twice looking like they've adapted accordingly. Crispy, really intensive start here. What do you make of it?
Yeah, this reminds me of the start they had back in 2014. I believe it was 2014 or 2013 out at UJ. Similar affair. 100 miles an hour from both sides. And they're just looking for that extra half mile of pace. But really a good start. That PC was something to behold. And always happy to hear from the senior staff. I know the old man Sikli in Tuli now for nearly 20 years. Still a super brain in this game. And we tried to get Chadwin Peterson from the Tuks ladies side, but some of these coaches have been very good at dodging dodging the mics today. Big ball in there by Clayton Saker. But looking at the start of this match, we have a good balance of players in both sides. And apologies to the Weinberg crowd for mistakenly giving Liam the Ranabosch status.
Great press there by first year Kenton Melville out of Michael House, winning the ball off Riley, the captain's slap. But Fullerton, the man who gets the others ticking. Great play there by Cam Fullerton into Callan Harney.
Oh, that was there were a few sticks involved there. We've not seen this many moustaches outside of November for a while now.
Yeah, I must say it's one of my highlights of the year is when you can go to Ussa and you will see moustache after moustache after moustache, and nowadays back in with the mullets. So, who's to say we're not in the 1970s and we just in a little bit of a time lapse here. But a little link up there from Michael Newland now. I believe was a UJ player for the last 4 years. Had a little question and answers time pre-game with him, and just in a post-grade here at Wits. Well won though.
And that man Reniel to Blanche, one of our favorite barmen, works at the Owl's Nest at Marty's, and then on the ball now as one of the first years, or just running possible, one of the first years X. It's Clayton Saker rolls it back to Jacques van Tonnel. They have options on the outside, but he goes for a big ball in instead. One or two shoulders and a few sticks go flying. And de Klerk being sent forward. Also played in the VP versus Boland series last year, the 3-match series. And as you mentioned earlier, I think the ladies definitely have the reverse stick pass down to an art. Men can take a few lessons from it, but the game keeps flowing at the pace that we expect. Big call to Jerry and good interception there, but a little bit of danger. Neat little play into the corner to this man who is one of the most dangerous strikers at this tournament.
Yeah, I think Liam Hermanus's efficiency rates are almost always 100%. It's just anything he does, he gets an outcome. There's that backhand again. If only they could put Tegan Faria on the ball, that would have been perfectly on the floor.
Yeah, honestly, bring back the ladies. They just know what to do. I did not say that out loud. Please do not come after me in the comments. Big ball goes in, well trapped. Brought down by the captain. And it just goes back in the other direction, but Clayton Saker on the other end of it. A little bit of a shoulder, but allowed to play on.
Here goes a tricky, pacey customer, Michael van der Berg. He is nuggety, and he's got wheels, ladies and gentlemen. But another man back from a little rugby stint. Hans Neerthling, prodigious talent, and back from a little half season of rugby in the Marty's under-20 program. Loves being back, he said the other day, and yeah, certainly a tale of two different teams here. Michael Horan just looking. Clayton Saker reading that all ends out.
And here's one player to watch. If he were in Bata, he can play a game, and if you give him a chance, he'll just turn it up to a whole nother level. As they look to recycle now around the back and find more space on the outside. Good interception. Maximum press being applied. But at the same time, they are finding those little 5-yard spaces, and into the D they go. Will this be a shot on target? Umpire says absolutely not. We do not allow that, friend. So be coming up to the end of this first chukka now. Prince, end of the first chukka. It's been a heated affair. Scores not overly exciting yet for a semi-final. We have quite a few people just crowding around the Astro under anything that looks like a little bit of shade. What do you think will be the big switch that both these teams will need?
Yeah, I think Marty certainly had a good grasp on the game quite early there in the midfield. Took a while for Wits to get going. I think Ricky West always really critical and analyzes quite well, so I'm sure he'll be making subtle adjustments. I think Marty's only thing that they could look to possibly do a little bit better is get one or two numbers higher up near the circle, just so that they don't run out of only having to feed individual play or longer ball. Um, but yeah, Marty's this year and last year have got quite a wide panel to select from. I know there's always jostling for positions, so I think at the moment, obviously, this is now the 4th game in a row where it's the exact same squad, and I think there's a fair amount of good rhythm between the guys. Just watching Ricky West there touch side with his Wits lads, pretty animated, so I think we could see a little firecracker up the Wits guys in this quarter. But yeah, it's also quite nice to see how many first years are in both teams here, yet the standard of hockey is just so high, Crispy.
Yeah, standard hockey is definitely one to talk about. You know, when you talk about depth, we spoke earlier about the UCT squad and how, especially the first years, have really taken the level of player at the club up to another level. This Marty side, if you look very closely, not many of the SA under 21s were in this team. Seen quite a few of them chilling along the side in support. And as we say that, neat little pick up and go in the corner. Coming up against a few big names.
Yeah, what's been interesting to see in the last year or two with regards to the Marties versus UCT intake, been a lot more guys from the Boland zone, obviously, and it's always been a case, but I think the Boland zone really producing severe quality now out of the schools, the Paul Russers, Paul Chums, Paul Boys, and yeah, the rest of the team. It was interesting to look through the squad list where you see a fair amount of Wynberg boys that have gone to Stellenbosch instead of the UCT, and then of course basically one from a big name school all over. So there's one from Glenwood, 2 from Grey PE, 1 from York, 1 from St Andrews. So they've 1 from Selborne. So they've got like a littering of almost this composite side put together, whereas their foes down south in UCT sort of made over 3-4 of their remaining boys' schools. Wits on the opposite side of it. Ricky West been doing clever recruitment for years on hand, so he picks up all of his guys he's looking for year to year. But a massive Joburg contingency naturally of guys across the big 4 or 5 schools.
Yeah, Wits in Gauteng being located quite centrally in Johannesburg. And they have not only recruited quite a few players, but also quite a few super staff members, coincidentally, from the KZN region. So they will look to build and expand with the reach that they have. They've always had the facilities. They've always had the capabilities. I think it's just utilizing them effectively. And Marty's also being located absolutely perfectly in between the Cape region and the rest of the country. Because as we know, there is nothing beyond the Cape Folding Mountains. If you're a Cape Townian, all of that is just Joburg.
Yeah, I often hear people say I don't really know why there's all these flights outside of Cape Town. It's a place to be. But lovely to see the different styles of hockey from upcountry and lower down. Marties are definitely settling in this game very quickly. And there goes Neil Roth. Fired the cross in, but nothing coming out of it. Boucher just not getting them there in time.
Very interesting to see the run of the strikers there, moving into spaces and immediately darting out and around once they had the space available. Very, very well read, and Rath also being a Stellenbosch local. So ball gets played into the middle of the park and well picked up. He had the space, just rolled it a little bit too far. Apologizing to his players who were available on the left side. It just seemed as if there was a little bit of a lull in decision making there because strikers had not committed to the press. A lot better setup now, but they leave quite a bit of room right through the middle. And Aiden Tan links up with the O'Neill to Blanche.
And fantastic lead there by Hans Neethling, going against the direction of the ball. And Neil Roth picking him out really well. But Wits still keeping a compact, deep defensive shape and not letting any half chances come out of anything.
Yeah, Wits definitely are favouring this left side as they have found quite a bit more space here. But coming up against the big man, Clayton Saker. Just a little bit of a soft pass there. But the pace is relentless here.
I'm not entirely sure what time's being called for here. Third umpire looks like he's just having a word. Possibly too many on the field, I'm not sure. Saw this in the earlier game. I think he might be having a word just with the captain. And no, looks like he has reached for the pocket. Yellow card, so I think that is too many players on the field. So I think that'll irritate both Brad Riley, unfortunately, as well as Ricky West. Just counting now. What do we have?
Yeah, it's a bit hard to believe that we'll be getting cards for simple accounting at this level, but we will wait for clarification. So that ball gets played in. That one is alive and free. Does get a tap shot off. Big calls for get the short corner.
A great save there by Mark Strickett from Peter Jarvis. I think Wits just trying to play out some time now. Going to go into a little bit more of a reserve shape.
This ball being played in the middle of the field. They're aiming to go up this left side again. They've clearly identified something that they want to exploit here. They have Liam Emanis going on the charge. Good connection. As it does a little bit of a wiggle and a jiggle down to the corner. It's Namibia versus South Africa. Wins the blow, has another chance to come straight back. Umpire says, please allow 5. We're trying to get away from Aiden Tan, but he does not back away. Oh, smart play there. Looks for the space on the outside. And they win a PC. It is a sudden change in tempo by Wits. Defensive battery is ready to go. Wits attack still getting set up. Push the first castle, goes for the flick. That was close.
And Luke Lawrence there on the first castle, the man from Grey Bloom in his second year. Second or third, they all a blur with these COVID years, but great bottom left flick. Tall man, Brendan DeToy, just not getting down in time, but hits the post and comes back off rear ward.
Oh, he goes for it again. Looks like it may have hit him in the throat. Just popped under the mask. That's either throat or chin. Yeah, definitely throat. Oh, he just shakes it off and ready to go again.
Of course, they built hard there in the Boelant, so Neil Roth not having any of it. Great first line running there by Tevin Peterson, out like steam train and running a great line. Luke Lawrence still staying on the first castle with Michael Horan on the second. What are they delivering here?
Oh, mistrap. That'll take a lot of work, but another award. And as you said, the national players are allowed one. That will be Clayton's last one. We'll push that again. That time going to the second castle.
And that's slick there. A little bit more zim on it from Lafleur in the push. And Horan picking it up expertly and really quickly. But Peterson just running the most fantastic line.
Yeah, this place we could send Peterson to the Rugby World Cup. Just have him on the outside there. Just throw something random in that direction. Oh, they go for the slip and yet another one, and he's there. Well, the way things are going down now, we might as well just send it down to short corners.
I think it's all that penalty stroke training that Wits had the other day. They would have asked for one or two more penalty corners. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying, but penalty corner rear ward. Lafleur on the push.
Ooh.
Early break for Tevin Peterson. I think it was just he was tired of maybe having 5 runs in a row, but that changes the dynamic massively.
It was also a much slower push out, so it could have been something that was done intentionally. That time saved on the line, and I believe they may have hit the umpire.
And Jacques Van Tonder usually the one who delivers the penalty corner flick when Marties have their turn. But hold on a second. And the hand there of Roth. Great defending by Marties. Ben Proctor. Steam train finding Kenton Melville. Marties looking to break quickly. Finds Ton. Great defending there though by Cam Fullerton. Off goes Van der Berg.
Yeah, they don't have enough numbers up front, only 2 up ahead. And coming up against the young man X.
He's got that X factor there, Zola Carlsa. And great ball carrier first year as well. Been playing centre back for the last couple of years, but in the Smarties team's moved to the outside and he's looking like he's having a really calm, commanding first year at Marties, which is fantastic to see. And there's Liam Mamanus receiving between the lines of this Marties zonal press. Here goes Aiden Lafleur. Great tackling back by Hans Neerthling.
Yeah, quite a few Wynberg boys in the park right now. If Director of Hockey Devin Stanton is listening, your top 100 place is safe, sir. Big calls for a big ball, finds it up the line. Looking for a turn in the D. Can he get through? still live on that corner. This battle in the corner is a little bit more intense as they look for a way through, but Wits' defense as good as can get, but that one's just rolling around loose there. Neat little shot saved on the line.
And great work there by Strickland in goals. And Wits at the moment's just in such a commanding position. If they don't have Strickland in goals, they got Governor, but both of them are just brilliant goalkeepers. And a high press being deployed there by Marties. Jarvis putting full pressure on Matkovic, but Matkovic having none of it. And then chucking a great 50-meter diagonal aerial into Kallenhani. There's that man again, Carlson.
Carlson playing left off, and then on this right off, right attacking side, we have his high school teammate from last year, Viwe Mbata.
I wouldn't say teammate per se, but certainly at the same school.
Well, they were both in our province under 18A squad last year, so.
No, that's a certainty. Here go Wits on the fast break again, finding Josh Finley, ex-SS Schools boy, back into Lafleur. Just the second time in this game, Lafleur gets himself into a fantastic position, but rolling onto the backhand and unfortunately just using the backside of his stick. And unfortunately, that's just the way it goes. Just going to have to work on that technical execution.
Yeah, umpire just calling that one back. We have about 4 minutes left in this chukka. I feel like Wits seem to have the upper hand, whereas Marty seem to have the majority of possession. And coaching staff with Bevan Bennett and Lungile Tolokile, I'm sure they will have an extensive halftime chat. Call there for a little bit of a chicken wing into the body. And Just to Clear just lifting that one a little bit too dangerously. As the Wits side with Captain Jarvis look to build forward again. But this high press is something for them to deal with. And Viwe Mbata there with a steal.
Here goes Neethling again. Van Tonde firing a ball in. Nothing coming out of it. Good tight defensive actions there by Wits. Neethling looking, finding Skuman at his favourite zone, right wing back. Chris Gerber just not happy with some of this defensive actions coming from Wits players and maybe some of the attacking from the Marties Maroon platoon. The Maroon Keys, sorry, should I rather say.
Yeah, I'm not having that discussion live on air ever again. Yeah, not much time left here. This clock will run down.
And 30 seconds left, fired ball. Probably the last attack. Maybe not. Hockey's a quick game. We've probably got one more in us now with that Horan deflection out for another long corner. Fantonda on the ball. Looking, finding. And Skuman just firing in a little bit of a rolled version slap, winning the penalty corner. And this is where Fantonda comes to light. He lives for these moments. There's a good couple of options elsewhere though, but this is Fantonda territory here. Let's see if Himmelsaker can pull the trigger to give Marties a 1-0 lead just before half time. Possibility also of Neerthling on the slip. But ladies and gentlemen, possibility real of Fantonda from Castle One.
End of Chaco on the board. The tempo has been taken up a notch. Brinsley Paul, what an end to the first half. And with that, ladies and gents, I think now is the perfect time for us to take a little break, and we'll see you at the start of the second half.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second half here. Quarterfinal number 4 of the day. Semi-final number 4 of the day. And semi-final number 2 of the men's section. We have Marties taking the lead through Jacques Fantonda just before half-time. And Marties now a little bit of a different proposition. Chris Gerber having none of it. Brad Riley judged to have been a little bit strong off the ball. And long crossfield diagonal from Fantonda. And great deep defending there. by Horan and Hermanus. Joining me back in commentary here is the man, the myth, the legend, Randall Crisp. Now that we've got ourselves a little bit of a scoreline, but quickly hold up there, ladies and gentlemen. Finley into Hermanus, into Finley, and Finley's still going. Hermanus is still going. Finley's still going. I would have said that would have been the goal of the tournament without even having watched any of the finals day. That would have been spectacular stuff. Finley, what an engine, and showing shades of his SA Schools days. Randall Chris, we've got 1-0 to Marties. Go bold, give me a 29 minutes early. Who wins this game to play Tucks tomorrow?
You know, after seeing that, I'm not sure. With that kind of build-up and living off every loose ball, every loose scrap, it's always difficult. The thing is, when you look at these two sides, the Marty side are a very well-drilled side, very disciplined, very well-structured. The Wits side, you have a few supreme finishers in the squad. If you give them half a sniff, they will take it. And as we say that, they come back with a massive counter. It's going to be 2-on-2 here. Almost going to say anything.
And the rain is back, ladies and gentlemen. The crisp Astro is just going to continue. And Newland now looking, searching, finding Finley. And Wits back to numbers there. Wits back to numbers. Captain Brad Riley on the ball as we speak.
I'd just like to extend a thanks to the ES Media crew and Etienne Blood for handing me a little umbrella. Those who know me know that I am the moodiest person when I'm standing out in the rain, but this game is moving. Seniors in the Marty squad starting to take charge now. And scraps picked up there. Game is still going. All the way to the corner. Can he find a way through?
In this game, really, you can see two sides that know everything about themselves. They know quite a lot about the other. That's what we're here for. We love hockey, and we just love the atmosphere on a UCT Thursday night. Oh my goodness. Whoever wins this one, it's going to be a fiery battle tomorrow with Tucks. Marty's certainly showing a good account of themselves in deep defense. And Wits starting to feel like they can make some running here, but Ton, don't think he's put a foot wrong today. There, and as I said, of course, he puts a foot wrong. That's just the way it goes.
He's one of the lightest players in this team, but it does make a massive impact. That ball gets played straight back into the middle. They look for another way forward. Final gap on the outside. A little bit of a tuck inside, finding Ronil to Blanche. Ronil slows it down, looks up the line, but turned over immediately. And Wits do not have the numbers forward, but they are finding the spaces. Leon Manus on the ball now. This is one of the top finishes in international hockey. That ball just played straight in and over the baseline. We're going into a little bit of a lull right now as both sides start to find another way. They look for another gear. This is the first time for a while that we've seen Marties in the Wits half or the Wits quarter.
Yeah, sure, but we know with the speed of the hockey game today, one can be down and doing a lot of defending, and all it takes is sort of 8 seconds and you can score yourself one of the most extravagant goals, like we saw Wits almost execute a while back. Great defending there by Captain Riley to Blanche, silky customer, but unfortunately nothing coming that time.
If ever a ball was labeled test your mate, that was one of them.
It's just come to my attention that we got Fantonde in the one team and Luke Lawrence in the other two. Gray, Blum, old boys, both supreme flickers. And lovely to see one of the main Premier Boys schools feeding through players bit by bit. And here we go again. Jarvis posting up strongly, playing Hans Neerthling.
Ooh, big test there with that pass. And we see a big shift in the squad as Wits start to load this right side. But snuffed out in the middle of the park and leaving the left side exposed. Umpire sends it back. Little bit of danger. Well, neatly into play there as they get their one live, but they can't find a way into the D. Breaks through the tackle, but the whistles are just being blown. I think at this point, one of these two sides need to start to either change the tempo of the game or just slow it down for their benefit. Looks like Wits will be the ones to do it. Rain is still coming down. But the breakdowns are just becoming harsher and harsher. Big floating over there from Clayton Saker to the other side of the park into clear space. And because a shift now from the Marty side is they see exactly what Wits are trying to do. They were loading one side and immediately shifted it back to the other. And being pushed into the corner.
And Ricky King there just giving away the foul, but he's been everywhere defensively. He's almost at first point of reference for the Marty's defense to base themselves off. Always in a sound position. Luke Lawrence just going into a little bit of a dead zone, being able to win the sideline hit. Ricky King just getting a sharp tackle in. Lawrence again winning another free hit off Ton.
Was a very neat ball played in there, but just not doing what it needed to do. Ball being played around here quite neatly, stringing together the passes that they need. But Wits finding a way through, and off they go. Lots of space on that side. Solid tackle by Clayton Seika as his stick goes flying for 6. Or was that for 4? What a steal.
Yeah, Fullerton, another one like Ricky King, just always in the right position defensively. Naturally, yeah, sometimes struggle for the final attack. Fantonda, I think, just taking a little stick to the head. Just one of those things. Don't know if he's going to get the ding-dong test, but I think he's a man who hails from Bloem. I mean, you don't get harder than that, Crispy. I'm sure he could shake that off. Probably just closed his eyes and he's back to normal. Looking fully into it at the moment. Here goes Riley.
Yeah, I think they bleed concrete out there. So, not at all bothered by that knock. We are always worried about concussions though. He seems completely fine, and Wits win a PC.
Can they level late here in the third quarter? Looks like they got a lot of their weapons on at the moment. Just having a little look. See Luke Lawrence. See Michael Horan. See Liam Hermanus. So it looks like they got all these strike weapons here for the penalty corner. Who do they use? Lawrence had himself one. So did Horan. Let's see what they have in store.
Looks like we may have an early break.
Yeah, so what I think happened there, ladies and gentlemen, is Liam Hermanus broke early and went into the circle. But the rules dictate that the pusher is the one who goes back to the halfway line. Obviously, that's sort of a cutting yourself at the source. So if you don't have a good pusher, you don't have a good possibility of a penalty corner. So, you know, for once, FIH making a rule interpretation that makes sense, and good on them.
A little bit of a mistrap there. The ball goes bouncing and he's under maximum pressure. Unable to build on that counter attack. Ball's live. Finds a way into the D. Cleared. Justin Clark, a little bit of a slippy there, but finds his feet. And Fitz back at it now. Ooh, a little bit of a, looked like that ball just got stuck in the hook and hopped around for a little while. Don't you just miss the nice calm winter's weather from 4 hours ago?
Jeepers, 4 seasons within 1 hour, as they say. Here comes Van Tonda charging. Marty's looking to perform the fabled dog leg from Van Tonda to Boucher to Peterson, but not happening. Marty's still leading 1-0 here, late into this third quarter.
He looked for the easy tap on there, but just couldn't get a handle on it. Might be a little bit of rain in his eyes, as the rain is currently going from Marty's to Wits. But we know that can change quite quickly. For someone of Hans Netling's size, he does cover quite a bit of ground. The ball still alive, looks for something up the line. Finds Eddington right again. Plays it off the foot. Looks for the easy 5. Big challenges coming in there. End of third chukka, Brinsley Paul. Quite a different affair to the second chukka. It seemed a lot more conservative from the Mati side. They're not finding their way into the D as often as the Wits side. But at the same time, the scoreline still shows Mati's leading 1-0.
Yeah, at the end of the day, what do they say? It's the goals that count, not the opportunities created all the time. Obviously, opportunities can lead to the goals, but right now, we'll never look back in 17 years' time and see the stats. We'll just look at the end result. So right now, Marty's doing what they have to do to get this over the line. There's no doubt that Wits having a chat or two about 1 or 2 permutations. But Marty's looking really calm, and sometimes that calmness is exactly what's needed in these sort of situations. I've no doubt, unfortunately, just with the stature, what we've seen this week with couple of volatile sort of challenges late in the fourth quarters, that probably good for 2 yellow cards here possibly. So it's almost going to be which team can not have ill discipline, and can the teams make the most out of the ill discipline when they have numbers up. So ladies and gentlemen, 15 minutes left, possibly maybe more should we go to showdowns, but hang tight. Marty's currently holding the 1-0, and let's see what's in store. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. It's so exciting to be here. And here we go, straight away, Wits on the full-on defensive structure. Oh my goodness, you wouldn't know this is varsity hockey. This is helicopter-style stuff. We are in full flight. And straight away, you can feel a little bit more tension, a little bit more tempo. Welcome again. And let us know who you think's going to take this one, as Michael Newland now tidies up shop. The ex-UJer, now Wits member, Fullerton.
And as you called it, the cards are starting to roll. A little bit of a shoulder and chicken wing there by Ronil Terblanche. And just looking around the turf, we have quite a few senior supporters here. And by senior, I mean international players. You may just rope 1 or 2 in here to come have a chat with us for a few minutes. I have a habit of just dragging anyone I see. I don't care where you are running off to, we will get you in here.
We have, ladies and gentlemen, in close proximity, I think, Randall, you're talking about Gillian Amanis, the Namibian national, watching her brother. Talks are that Liam got the worst genes. So we'll look to get Gillian in shortly. But Viwe Mbata going. Unfortunately, ball just falling out. I think I see Gillian Amanis slowly but surely walking this way, just to give some insights into what international hockey is all about. Whilst we're there, we got Luke Lawrence just feeding the ball in, keeping it. Jelena Manis has just joined me pitch side, and the Namibian national, Liam Amanis' sister. Just a moment though, Peter Jarvis on the fast break. Great defending by Riley. And Barter looking. Gillian obviously you ex-UCT yourself and always supported Wits men's program since Liam's been there. Obviously never been a part of Marty's men or women's camps. So Liam's decision obviously to go from Cape Town to Southern Gauteng to play for Wits, is that mainly degree based, or is that this brilliant hockey program that Ricky West and the boys have?
I think that it's probably attributed to his girlfriend convincing him to do it, and also the great hockey program that they're running on that side.
Love it. It's a fantastic tool.
It is.
And outside of that, I mean, you obviously an international player. Just a moment though, Vandenberg searching, and Cody Skuman tidying up shop. But you've obviously been in many uses yourself. You're now a non-student, finally getting out of varsity. Penalty corner for Wits though. Just in closing from my side, nope, penalty corner reversed. What was your take on all your uses through the years with UCT? What was one of your main takeouts and biggest memories?
Just the carrying the team, basically. No, I'm kidding. No, it was a lovely platform to showcase the quality of the universities, and all the universities bring quality size to these tournaments, and it's lovely to see it out here this year again.
Fantastic, and you guys obviously had a fantastic varsity cup, and I think it was your final year playing for UCT. Any real great memories there, such as hosting the first round of varsity cup 2019?
What a vibe. Yeah, where did we place? Fifth, I think fifth, sixth. But it was quite a feat for UCT, and we were very proud to have hosted it, and it was such a good vibe, as is the USA that we're hosting this year.
Well, it goes in a flash of an eye. One day you were first year here, now it's all over in the working world. But that's life, and fantastic that you got to carry the team, as you said, for a good couple of years. Had that privilege of seeing you at left back making numerous tackles. But yeah, thanks Joe, and look forward to watching your brother and the team to finish. But what a goal in the meantime. Viwe Mbata leading out of the blind spot of his opponents. Great delivery from, I think it looked to be Clayton Saker. And 2-0, Randall Chris is back in commentary with me. Crispy, is that the nail in the coffin, or is that not the nail in the coffin?
No,
Randall
that
Chris?
is not the nail in the coffin, hopefully.
Jelena Manus found her way back onto the mic.
Thanks, Julian Manus, for joining us, one of the Namibian superstars and former UCT superstar. And as I said before, that young man, Viwe Mbata, one of my favorite humans, never gives up and puts another one on the board there, 2-0 up. We do still have quite a bit of time left in this chaka, so this 2-0 trap was never enough. And back they come. Finding space. One thing that we have to just point out there, as it looks like we have a time stop there. Oh, they got the ball out. Nothing unsettles a defensive line more than a striker stopping dead and just sending everyone flying past him. And they are now going full strength. Keeper off. Massive gamble here for Wits. But Brinzi, just looking at just the flow of this match, Wits have had the upper hand in terms of possession for most of the second half. So could this be what they need?
Yeah, look, it's certainly going to bring fireworks now, and with 9 minutes to go to 11 outfield players. Proctor posting up and turning. Proctor, such a big man, but really got some great deft touches. His timing of the lead is brilliant, and please don't be mistaken for thinking that he doesn't know what he's doing. That man is a really crafty forward. But yeah, at 9 minutes of 11 outfield players, hopefully for Wits, and it'll be interesting to see how Marty's adapt to the defensive structure here.
And as you say that the rain will be blowing into the Wits eyes, going from right to left on your screen. It is cold, it's wet, and it will require quite a bit of work from both sides now. Particularly the Witties, they'll be running into this inclement weather. If you look over to the other side of the park, you'll see the lights are on everywhere. As they look for a big ball up the line, making the connection. But maroon sticks are everywhere. Oh, ball gets played in, and that will be another PC.
And I think this will be quite a pivotal moment. Not necessarily the match-defining moment for Wits right now, but you do feel that if they really are going to get themselves into the running here, they're going to have to execute this penalty corner by hook or by crook. It's going to have to be a goal, a real goal opportunity or goal.
Ooh, that cheer there from that first wave. The man is unstoppable. Yeah, the cheers from the side of the park. Give it to Liam as he backs out for follow-up. Ooh, slip track saved on the line, still alive. Can it find a way in? And unfortunately not, and player goes down. Umpire checks on him.
At the moment, that just feels like Wits' day. It's a lot of half chances, half misses, just missing that final execution, that final timing, which is a pity because there's always so much consistency and flow to them. Marty's, you saw it with Tevin Peterson when he ran down the flick there. They're just so up for it, and a lot of the time in semi-finals, we know in finals, although there's so much tactical and technical nuances, it's half the time it's about being truly up for it and not giving away an inch. And you can just see that there at the moment for Marty's.
Yeah, this Marty side are renowned for only operating at 100% capacity. They will do the basics very, very well and tick every box that is available. So it will take quite a bit of work for this Wits side to get through and convert. And as you rightly said, nobody checks the stats in 70 years.
Just a little over 6 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, and this maroon machine is just proving unbeatable. The cogs are oiled. It's moving in unity. But Wits aren't going to die without giving it a full go. And it's really starting to come out with the winter weather here, Randall. And Ethan Makovic now on the ball.
Yeah, if you hear me go quiet, it's just because I am the most miserable human on earth right now. But I'm still here. Would be nice if we could have just a little bit of a fire, or like a gas heater, or, you know, gas does not feel the pain of load shedding, guys. Of course, we don't have load shedding. It's big break here by Anthony. I think he looks for something, does he get a shot on, and he sends that one flying at a rate of knots, but great defensive work here by the Wits. First time played in there by O'Neill to Blanche, looking for Viwe and Bata. As Wits will look to build slowly on the outside. They do find a foot just outside the D.
Yeah, what they cannot afford to do right now is give away a penalty corner with the Fantonda machine, the animal.
A little bit of a nudge there. As they find some room, but that one just thrown a little bit too far forward. Well managed in the rain. Big calls for roll it from the Wits staff. He's played over the baseline there for a long corner. Not much time left here. They will need to get 2 quick ones on the board. And Marties will surely look to up their position stats as they play a big ball at Hans, linking up with the viewer as he looks to find a way through. Can he get a short corner? Unfortunately not.
Great reading of defensive play there by Tevin Peterson. 3 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen. Wits really trying to force this agenda here, but Marty's just refused to open the back door. And as it currently stands, it looks like we've got a repeat of the pool game of Marty's versus Tucks. Free hit just outside though. What can they make? Kumanis takes it quickly. And just too much there from Josh Finley. Probably one of his only errors of the game. He's been brilliant there in midfield. His engine's been huge. Long throw there by Fantonda. Cleaned up by Horan. But not enough.
No goal.
And the blow there adjudged for Jarvis having pushed Horan off the ball from what I believe. So firstly, ladies and gentlemen, goal not given. Secondly, Jarvis off for a 5-minute yellow, so that'll be his game. So 11 Witsies outfield players playing up against 10 Marties players, 9 plus the goalie. Can they make this double man outfield advantage count with 2 minutes and 4 seconds to go? Hang tight, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh, that was a close one there. Nice little kick to touch, but it doesn't find its way out. Last few buckets of rain coming down now as Fantonda looks for easy pass, finds Hans. Hans Neetling with his characteristic quick turns. And the theme of this Marty's play will be to roll down the clock now, just maintain the ball.
And this is a pivotal moment, ladies and gentlemen, with time off. This is international standard rules here, so whenever there's a penalty, corner time stops. And there's a countdown of 40 seconds to get the PC ready for. And you've got to say that if Wits don't score this one, that should be last chance saloon. But if Wits score it, there should still be just around a minute's play. So massive moment here for the yellow machine. And what can Brendan du Toit in goal and his fellow PC runners do for him? Got to feel that it's Horan who's got to get the flick off here from Castle 2. And it looks like that was a well-orchestrated slip flick into a deflection. And from there onto the post, I think, ladies and gentlemen, it's all such a blur, so quickly executed by both both teams. And I think that, unfortunately, is all she wrote for Wits. 30 seconds to go. Marty's holding firm. Tevin Peterson yet again. Great defensive action there by Tevin Peterson with 10 seconds to go. This should be it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure another big bomb coming from Fantonda.
Big cheers on the Marty's bench as they know what's coming. It's finals time, ladies and gents. Brensley Paul, what an encounter. I think this will be one for the books.
Yeah, we know there's so much ability in this Marty's team on attack, but one really has to commend them for their defensive work. They were absolutely brilliant on their defensive actions throughout the game, and no matter what Wits try to do tactically or individual skills based, just nothing was coming. Crispy, your player of the match there?
Yeah, I think in terms of player of the match, I'm very tentative about giving it to any player in particular, but I think definitely Tevin Peterson defense there in the PCs, absolutely fantastic work. As we wave the Namibians goodbye as they walk past here with a smile. We'll see them all next week at the series. But yeah, I think Tevin in his short corner defense, one for the books.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our semi-finals of the day, the 4 games. First game going to Marty's women over Wits. Second game was the men's semi-final, one of Tux versus the home team UCT, and that going Tux's way. Third semi-final of the day was Picker woman up against Tux woman, with Tux just edging that one to set up a Tux versus... I'm sorry, I'm just having a look. Tux versus Marty's final tomorrow in the ladies, and then finally here, Marty's coming away 2-0 victors against Wits to set up another Tux versus Marty's game. So the 2 finals tomorrow, Tux versus Marty's. Catch it right here at the UCT Astro, powered by Enhanced Media. We'll catch you tomorrow. Thanks, everybody.